What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast No Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Disco Elysium. It's been a busy last couple days for the studio for this game because, well, actually, they announced their next game just like a day or two ago, and I want to get excited, but then you kind of remember about like the shareholder takeover that happened, and literally anyone associated with Disco Elysium is gone. People that were brought in later are gone. The original people are gone. The creators of it are gone. So it's very hard, even though you see the studio that brought you Disco Elysium, it's very hard to get into it when you think, okay, there's no better example of when you hear a studio name, but then you think about who's actually there. There's no better example than this game. This is not, the studio name means absolutely nothing, okay? So that was just a day or two ago. That was fun news. But now today, we got such an interesting headline that is blowing up, but it's blowing up really, I think, in views and the negative response, not out of positivity. So I'll show you how I saw it. Eurogamer. It's not really a knock on them. I think they were kind of quoting it from the studio and from what they were kind of saying. But Eurogamer, Disco Elysium is being reimagined for mobile devices to captivate the TikTok user. Again, it blew up for all the wrong reasons. If you actually go into the article, they say the aim of this adaptation is to make the game accessible for mobile devices and playable in short bursts. We intend to captivate the TikTok user with quick hits of compelling story, art, and audio, ultimately creating an all-new, deeply engaging form of entertainment, said studio head Dennis Havel, an original member of the Disco Elysium development team. All right, I guess I'll give it to him. They got one person that's still there, but he seemingly has been brainwashed, maybe tortured, something in order to be able to say that. Okay, here's what I want to say. I want to go off. This is going to be definitely more of a rant-style video. Disco Elysium is a game that I actually first played literally last summer, last June into July. I said, this is a game that's so freaking popular, and it also just doesn't make sense to me. The game did well. The game sold well. The game performed well. They really, the reason like they messed with it, there really shouldn't have been a reason, okay? Because everything went pretty darn well with that game in terms of the response, all right? So I had seen it. I remember when it first came out, and I just never got into it. And I'm not really a big fan of just that type, that genre of game. When I say I'm not a big fan, I just have not tried many of them. I did play it. I played all the way through. I only did it, one attempt and one path of playing. I put in like 40, 45 hours, and I freaking loved it. Long story short, okay, I experienced it. I should have a long time ago, but I experienced it, and I loved it. I also get it. Now, I can't tell you all of the political stuff that's going on and just all of these deep conversations because there are a lot of them. And again, there's different ways of experiencing it with the path that you choose to go down, right? But I will tell you, it's not a game made for the TikTok. I mean, let me just take a couple shots here. Okay, I'm generally still young. I mean, I have a daughter. The newer generation and this TikTok user base that they're talking about, I think actually casual people can't even hang with Disco Elysium. And in fact, that's what I saw more than anything today. The response to that Eurogamer tweet, I saw people that were saying like, hey, I wasn't a huge fan, or maybe I'm this kind of gamer, that kind of gamer. And even I couldn't really hang with it, but I can respect it. And that to me is the main thing here. You gotta be able to respect the game that you made, especially if it's good. I mean, if the game's terrible, you don't necessarily have to respect it. But this game is made with a certain purpose. This game is made in a certain genre for a certain group of people. And you can talk about sales, and you can talk about, well, look, if we want to increase sales here and here, we need to change up like the style. But again, it's why I'm kind of confused. Like the game did good, and to me, this is milking it. That's really what this is, making the new game and talking about how it's going to be this revolutionary thing in the genre, and everything Disco Elysium was, and then some. Meanwhile, most of the people that made it are no longer there. That, to me, is milking the past because they don't really have anything to stand on right now. And this is also milking the past. It's milking, okay, well, we have this franchise that did well, but what if we dumbed it down? And that is like a direct shot. That's, I guess, as close as I'll get. Look, my wife's on TikTok. I have a Podcast Now account on TikTok. I mean, like, I get it. And I understand short bursts. I understand why YouTube Shorts and all this stuff are popular. I guess my main point that I already kind of said, why do you have to change it? Why would you have to, and why would you pick a game like this? Like, this is the worst, truly. It's not even, I exaggerate, okay? I like to exaggerate. It's not even an exaggeration. This is a hard game to follow. This is a game that really requires you to sit. You're going to be reading. You're going to be listening. You're going to be taking in a lot of stuff. You might not get it. You might not read every single thing that's in this game. You might not hear every single thing that's in this game. You might not understand the complexities of what's going on in this game. That's okay, but that's what this game is, okay? I mean, that's it. This game is made with certain people in mind and a certain type of game, in mind. You cannot change what are you going to do? I mean, these are conversations with choices and paths that you can go down, and just, different decision making. You could be in a conversation with people for like 10 minutes in this game. Like, it's that deep. It's a game you just sit there, you pick your choices, you can run the deck, with all the kind of like the side optional conversations, and you can be there for hours. And you're going to change that to a TikTok audience that can't handle 30 seconds. So what are you going to do to this game? You're really, I think, going to strip it of its identity. I think ultimately that's what this is. It's, let's take this game, let's make it for this different kind of audience, an audience that can't retain information more than 10 seconds. And it's not even all of just those shots that I already said, but then it's, okay, well, you chose the worst type of game. See, a shooter is probably, something quick, something in short bursts. Those are games that I think would actually work with a TikTok audience in mind. Not this game. I don't care what kind of shots or non-shots you want me to make or not make towards a certain audience, okay? You cannot take this game that is defined on its hardcore conversation systems and change it into a TikTok audience type game. So what a joke. I mean, truly, you're just ruining. I mean, I did a quote tweet. You're ruining the game. That's what you're doing. You're not reimagining. You're not adapting. You're ruining the game for TikTok audiences. That's what the title should have been. That's what this guy should be talking about, because that's what you're doing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel. Bell icon turned on. And I hope to see you all on the next one.